Well, hello everybody. This is Mr. Mike from Room B6, and I am going to read today Miss Spider's Tea Party by David Kirk. This is a story that we read last week, and I'm putting it on the website so that on the Class Dojo page and on the YouTube channel so that you can access it and you can listen to this story whenever you want to. So this is Miss Spider's Tea Party by David Kirk. One lonely spider sipped her tea while gazing at the sky. She watched the insects on the leaves and many flying by. If I had friends like these, she sighed, who'd stay a while with me, I'd sit them down on silken chairs and serve them cakes and tea. Two timid beetles, Ike and May, crept from the woodwork that same day. But when Miss Spider begged, "Please stay," they shrieked, "Oh no!" and they dashed away. Three fireflies flew inside that night, their spirits high, their tails alight. They spied the web and squeaked in fear, "We'd better get away from here." The little trio did not feel their care to be a spider's meal. Four bumblebees buzzed by outside. "Please come to tea," Miss Spider cried. The four ignored her swaying there. She waved a tea towel in the air. She took a cup and tapped the glass. Then one bee spoke to her at last. "We would be fools to take our tea with someone so spidery." Within the shadows of the room, just peeking from behind a broom, five grinning faces bobbed and peered. Miss Spider smiled, her heart was cheered. Descending for a closer look, she danced into the gloomy nook, but sadly found those jolly mugs belonged, alas, to rubber bugs. Some ants strode by, they numbered six, but ants with spiders will not mix. She brewed them tea from hips of roses, the proud platoon turned up their noses. A fine bouquet concealed its prize of seven dainty butterflies. Miss Spider, watching from the wall, was not aware of them at all. The tea table was set for eight, with saucers, cups, and silver plate. The cakes were fresh, the service gleamed, yet no one would arrive, it seemed. Her company in no demand left her a cup for every hand. Nine spotted moths kept safe and warm in shelter from a thunderstorm. They stood beneath an open sash and watched the jagged lightning flash. Miss Spider dropped down on a thread, a silver tray above her head. She'd hoped to please them, but instead they flew away in mortal dread. They've left me all alone, she cried. She dabbed her eyes and sadly sighed. It's plain no bug will ever stay. Her tears splashed upon the tray. Poor Miss Spider. 10 tiny steaming cups of tea were perched atop her trembling knee. She sipped and sobbed, then heard a cough, and turned to see a small wet moth, a fragile thing so soaked by rain, his wings too damp to fly again. She smiled and took a checkered cloth to cloak the frail and thankful moth. They talked and stacked on tea and pie until his tiny wings were dry. Then, lifting him with tender care, she tossed him gently in the air. The moth told Ike, and Ike told May, who went from bug to bug to say, there is no reason for alarm. She's never meant us any harm. So later on that afternoon, assembled in the dining room, 11 insects came to tea to share Miss Spider's courtesy. 12 tender violets in a vase presented at Miss Spider's place. Set by her chair so neatly spun, she munched the blossoms one by one. Her friends were glad to watch her feast upon the floral centerpiece. It was a great relief to see. She ate just flowers and drank just tea. Miss Spider's reputation grew. Before too long, our hostess knew each bug who crawled or hopped or flew, and all their lovely children, too. And there's Miss Spider with all the children. And that was Miss Spider's Tea Party by David Kirk. Have fun listening to the story.